Hi, this is Catherine. This is Taking Tea with Catherine.
And this is Catherine's sister, Bonnie, and I'm drinking coffee.
That's right. So I am drinking Lady Grey tea from Twinings.
And I'm drinking an organic coffee from one of the Target brands. Target.
Very nice.
Delicious.
So as you can see from the background, we're in a slightly different place today. We are in Chicago, where Bonnie is resided, if that's English. And we've been having a really good time. One of the highlights of our get-togethers is our mutual love of books and shopping for books. And this time there was a book fair in the Newbury Public Library.
It's a research library just north of the downtown area here in Chicago. They have an annual library sale.
Yeah, and it was an excruciatingly hot day, so it was a good day to be indoors in a not overly crowded but busy area full of air conditioning and full of very affordable, lovely books.
Yeah, I think their most expensive books were about $3-4.
I mean, yeah,
it was amazing. Most books were about $1.
I got one for like $4.50, I think, but still, yeah. I mean, and I will do my own haul at a separate time, but we are with Bonnie today, so this is Bonnie's haul and the things that she picked up. So take it away.
Okay, so if anyone's been following Catherine for a while, last year when we were together in Chicago, I hauled a bunch of L.M. Montgomery books. This year, it's more Trollope that I got a big haul of. So I got about 7 Trollope books at the Newbury Library. First one is An Eye for an Eye. I've heard of it. Very small. Looks wonderful. Trollope's one of my favorite authors. Okay.
We have that in common.
This one I've never heard of. The Struggles of Brown, Jones, and Robinson.
I think it's made up.
Has anyone ever heard of this? Comment below. No, I mean, I seriously had never heard of this, but I am not mad about it. Anything Trollope, yeah. I would like to have on my shelf.
Yeah, we're both determined to read all the Trollopes we can get our hands on.
Yes,
including the obscure ones.
Yes, and I think at this point I own about half of his novels. Anyway, okay, this one I've heard of, but it's very difficult to find. And this might be the next one I read of Trollope. Well, we'll see. This is called The Vicar of Bullhampton. Looks great. I read like the first page of it, and I want to just stop everything and read it now, but
I know it sounds good though, because it's one of the clergy.
Yeah,
you know, he does good at the clergy fiction.
Yes,
if that's what you call it.
He does. This one I've read already, but I really enjoyed it. I think it was a 5-star read for me. Orley Farm. I read it a couple of years ago. Absolutely loved it.
I have to read that one.
Yeah. So this is definitely one I would like to reread sometime in the future.
Exciting.
Yeah. This is another one that I don't see. I've heard of it, but don't see very often. Miss Mackenzie. It's a little shorter. Its heroine is a middle-aged spinster. Sounds awesome.
Oh, sounds like me.
Well, I mean, there you go. Represent. Okay. Here's one of the most popular Anthony Trollopes, and it was the first Trollope I ever read, thanks to Catherine. She lent it to me. And then, yeah, but I didn't have a copy. It's The Way We Live Now. So I got this. I believe that was $3, but most of them were $1.
That's gorgeous.
The Way We Live Now. This is a really great book.
What edition is that? Wordsworth Classics.
Yeah, they're typically not very expensive. I think these, but
it's a nice cover.
Yeah, and in great condition, and really excellent book. I would recommend it. If you haven't read any Trollope, this might be a good place to start. A lot of people. I started that way, and then yeah.
Oh, it's great. I
here I am
need to reread that one so badly.
I loved it. And this is fun. I'm not crazy about the edition, but I've heard of this. Never read it yet. Rachel Ray. Mm-hmm. Also, another Trollope. So that's all my Trollope. Fun.
That's a good amount. That's a pretty great amount of Trollopes to look forward to.
And in a Trollope vein, I'm also reading a lot of the Angela Thurl books. She wrote in the mid 20th century. Probably people here on BookNews might know about her already, but similar. It's like in supposedly the same fictional area of Barsetshire. So I've read a few of the series already. This one I read recently and decided to buy a copy because it was so inexpensive. It's called what's it called? August Folly.
Ah.
This is a very nice, it's a very good summer read. Very humorous. It's of the time, as they say, there might be certain references here and there that are not, that we may not say today, but overall, it's just a very light, humorous read.
Use the historical perspective.
Exactly. And then I got 2 more from that series. I don't know what order they go, but this is Angela Thurl, Northbridge Rectory. It reminded me of Anne of Green Gables, the cover.
It really does. It's like Anne of House of Dreams or The Island.
Yeah, very Edwardian looking. Although, strangely enough, I think all these books are, they're not Edwardian. They're like interwar period and after World War II. So I don't know why they have her in
that. Is
this.
Weird.
Yeah, this looks more 1920s, so appropriate. It's Before Lunch by Angela Thurl. And we're doing this video before lunch.
That's right, before breakfast, actually.
I know.
Question: do you need to read her Barsetshire type series in order?
I don't think so. Right. I mean, I've been as I've been getting them, trying to read them in order, but it doesn't. They seem just very loosely connected overall. So they're fun, witty reads, enjoyable. If you like a light, witty, and yet entertaining, and I think you'd like that. If you like Trollope and you like Jane Austen, I think you'll definitely like Angela Thurl.
Very nice.
Okay, so then this was something in the children's book section. I got 2 books in the children's. This was looked very what's the word?
Vintage?
Vintage, thank you. I'm not always into older looking vintage books, but sometimes certain books. Never heard of this book, but I just saw it. The Greystone Girls. Does anyone? Comment below. If you've ever heard of this. The Greystone Girls by Joy Francis. It's definitely a little battered, but it's written in the 20s. It looks like it was awarded to some kid in school back in the day. It's just cool, history. And it looks like it might have been part of a series.
Oh, even the print in the front, it gives back some kind of memory.
Yeah.
I don't know what. But
I believe this is written in the 1920s. Got some illustrations. I love these kind of books.
That can be fun.
Yeah. So it's
You found that in the children's section, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. It was actually pretty good, the children's section, I thought.
It was. Anyway, I believe it was written in the 1920s when I looked it up on Goodreads. This is also originally published in 1921. This is just random. Also, I never heard of it. A Little Maid of Old New York. I like things about Old New York. I'm from New York, obviously. We were born and raised there, even though I don't live there now.
I do.
And what I really loved about this book, inside, look, there's a little paper doll, and then they have her clothes in the back.
That's just
I just thought that was
how cute that is.
That was really cute. That was
oh
so
my
sweet.
Goodness.
And I mean, the book itself looks interesting.
Is that a Borders? Oh, it's got a Borders.
Yeah, someone had bought it at Borders, and then it's in the library book sale. It's a novel about colonial times. I don't know. Never heard of it before. Just saw it for very.
Why is it making me think of the American Girls? What is it called?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But back from 100 years ago. The
Yeah.
American Girl. So who knows what it's going to be like, but it looked cool. Then I got a couple of authors that are on my radar. I've read books of them before. Elizabeth Taylor. I've read Mrs. Palfrey at the Claremont. Read it. Really enjoyed it. Cried. It was it was a little sad, but very well written. And so this would be that's the only book of hers that I've read, but I saw this at the sale, and it's called At Mrs. Lippencoat's. Really lovely edition.
Fantastic.
And on the back, it says, this is a quote from Ann Tyler, another author. It says, Jane Austen, Elizabeth Taylor, Barbara Pym, Elizabeth Bowen, Soul Sisters all. And I was like, okay, that sold me. If I was going to buy it already.
Ann Tyler, that's the best writing I've read of her in a while. No. I like Ann Tyler.
Yeah, but those are some authors. Yeah.
That's good company though.
Exactly. Okay, and then here's another one where I have mixed feelings about this author. I've read a couple of her books, but I really like the cover.
It is what condition, Bonnie?
Pristine.
Pristine.
Yeah. So this is Georgette Haire. Haire? Am I pronouncing it right?
Pretty sure that's Haire.
Okay. It looks like it's a historical fiction, An Infamous Army, a novel of love, war, Wellington, and Waterloo. I love reading about that time period.
The Regency.
We'll see. Georgette Haire, I read, I think 2 books of hers. She's not my top favorite, but yeah, I like hers. Okay. Now, the last but not least, I found this whole entire, hold on, let me drink another sip of coffee.
She needs energy to show you this, Paul.
I mean, really.
This is a chunky one right
Yeah,
here.
it was all, one of the workers there had kindly, I ended up talking to her a bit, and she kindly put them all together with the rubber band, this whole series. It's the Cazalet Chronicles. So these are really chunky. There's 4 of them. This is the first one, The Light Years by Elizabeth Jane Howard. These, I believe, are written in the 1990s, but they're set, I think, World War II and after. I have a little bit of knowledge about this. I really don't know, but
she's heard good things.
I've heard good things, so I bought the entire series because they look so beautiful all together. This is a UK edition, you know.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, this is the first one. Then the second one, volume 2, is Marking Time.
It's purple.
Purple. And then Confusion is volume 3. I wonder if this is, oh yeah, this is during the long dark days of war. Yeah, so this is probably going to be, oh, someone's bookmark is in there. Okay, during World War II. And then...
That's a mood. It is a specific mood, but you can do it.
And this last one, yeah, volume 4, Casting Off. Look how pretty that is. And they were, excellent, pristine condition.
It's all colors that I like. I mean, I know it's not everything.
And they look so nice. Look at how pretty that's going to look on the shelf, right? I mean, gorgeous.
And reasonable, too.
Right. I think they're all $3. And, when will I get around to reading them? That's a good question because I have so many books to read, but they're all amazing. So do you want me to continue?
Yeah, sure. I was just going to say, thankfully, what we're not doing is a retrospective of the haul she did last year, and which ones did she read? Because we don't want to.
I've read.
We
some.
don't want to know. I know she has, but
I read a lot.
She actually reads more than I do right now.
Oh,
that's okay.
But there's so many books. Okay.
She's drinking coffee.
So that was all from the Newberry Library, and you'd think that's plenty. That's enough haul for a year, right?
The day is young. Well, the weekend was young.
We literally stumbled into Myopic Books. We weren't in that neighborhood for Myopic Books. We went for a gelato place, really great gelato place here in Chicago called Eliz Arc. Yeah. I'll just plug it. It's not my place, but it's okay. Delicious. So then we went around the corner and we just saw, there's Myopic, and there was a fair going on, very loud
music. There was a whole sound system, and we're irritable people when it comes to sounds.
Yeah,
I am very much so, and it was a little hard because every time the door would open, it was like a blast of. It's hard to concentrate, so that could either be good or bad. Because for me, I just couldn't concentrate. I couldn't buy anything.
Yeah,
Bonnie, I don't know.
I think my judgment was a little skewed because of that. Oh, I didn't even get my other haul. There's a third. I forgot about the ones from
Tangible
Books. Well.
Oh well.
Okay, but this is what I got at Myopic Books. And Myopic is a famous one in here in Chicago, but their prices were definitely not as good as Newberry Library. But, anyway. So this is a P.G. Woodhouse that is not at my library. It's kind of one of his lesser known. Most people know Jeeves and Wooster, and there's that other series I can't remember. Uckridge? I mean, it sounds made up. It sounds made up.
Sounds like you had a dream that someone gave you a P.G. Woodhouse book, and it was...
Yeah.
But that's okay. It could be amazing. It could be hilarious knowing him.
Right. I like Woodhouse. I read a lot of the Jeeves and Wooster, and I've read a few standalones. One being, I think, something about the Nugget. It was just such a funny name. But
She has a cat named Nugget, so that's funny.
Yeah. I like P.G. Woodhouse. This is another author that I like to read a lot of, but a lot of her books are not at my library. And this one in particular is not at my library, so I was like, let me get it. Patricia Wentworth, Mr. Zero. It's a mystery. Sorry if I'm covering her face.
It's okay.
So this is a Patricia Wentworth, Miss Silver, which Miss Silver is, a lot of people compare her to Miss Marple. And there is a similarity. I think
Haire silver?
Well.
And it sounds like descriptive.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, she might. They don't. Anyway, she's just a former governess turned. Turned. What's it called? What Sherlock Holmes was? Detective.
Detective.
Yeah.
Sleuth.
So yeah, I like the series. They're not personally to me as good as Miss Marple, but they're quite good. If you read all of the Miss Marple and you're like, I want to read something similar, but there was only limited Miss Marple, you have a lot more to read with Miss Silver. She wrote a ton of them. Okay, then I got in the children's section. I was a little upset about this because they had two prices. Then I got to the register and they charged me the higher price. And anyway,
And she didn't have. She couldn't argue it because she was too busy
with the noise. I couldn't figure it out. It's not the end of the world. It's just on principle.
But it's a nice edition. It's cute.
Yeah, I can get a little cheap sometimes when Anyway, when I'm expecting to pay one price and anyway. Okay, but I read this as a child and I wanted to have a copy. Hans Brinker.
You had like the watermelon edition before.
Yeah, Mary Mapes Dodge, and this is really cute. It's a pretty decent. I mean, it's well used, but it's got some nice illustrations as well. Sorry, Catherine.
That's okay.
I don't mean to be covering your face.
This is the Bonnie show today.
No, but yeah, but I love the illustrations inside. It's fun. I like these kind of children's books, children's classics. And I read this as a kid, and I really don't remember much of it, so it'd be nice to reread.
I think of Bonnie when I see that book. I've never read it, so I guess I must have seen her reading it at home and heard her because she used to read out loud, which is a good thing. She's really good at reading out loud. Bonnie, if anyone ever wants to hire her for like audiobooks, just FYI, she would be great.
Hey, shameless plug. No,
not me though. Not me. Don't hire me for audiobooks.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
Or do so, hey, if it pays.
Okay, so I want to wrap it up so this video doesn't go on crazy long. But so this is a series I've heard of, never read, but there's a great, look how beautiful it was all through, again with the entire series in great condition. I mean, I don't know, this is a theme this weekend. This is What Katie Did by Catherine Rundell. I don't know. But it's a Virago Modern Classic edition of books written in the Victorian period. First published 1872.
Oh, no, it's actually by Susan Coolidge.
Susan Coolidge, what did I say?
Catherine you got the blurb.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Like I said, I've only just barely heard of these books.
And she hasn't finished her coffee yet.
Yes.
One needs to finish one's coffee.
One does. Okay, the second book in this series is What Katie Did at School. Okay, What Katie Did at School. So cute, right?
Katie, this looks cozy.
Catherine Rundell is quoted again, but she's not the author. It's Susan Coolidge. Okay, then the third one, again, Catherine. Okay.
So this Catherine Rundell really wants to put herself on every cover.
I love this cover. This is Edwardian. I believe it does take place in the Edwardian period or late Victorian. Yeah. This is the third one.
Oh.
What Katie Did Next.
She's in London.
I know, big bird.
Oh, is she in a boat?
No, she looks like she's just on a bridge or something.
Okay, yeah. I want to take a picture like that in London, but alas.
Alack. And then finally from Myopic.
Last but not least.
I know. I love a good Virago Modern Classic. Those are also Virago. By E.H. Young, Jenny Wren. Interestingly enough, I have the second. I think this is was it called Duology? Called The Curate's Wife. I had got that at another used bookstore, but this is the first. These are not at my library. You don't see them much here in the U.S., so it's nice to find at bookstores. It sounds interesting. I really don't know much about it, except it sounded interesting. It's an enchanting satire on class, love, and life in provincial England of the 1920s. Sounds like something that I would be interested in.
I think I'd be interested in it as well.
Yes.
And I love the Viragos. They're just gorgeous.
What did I get from
Tangible?
Tangible.
You got books. I don't remember.
I got another Virago. Actually, I believe it was
E.H. Young as well?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Tangible books, I was in my own world as well, so I didn't really get anything there.
Was it? And I'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back with my last smallish haul from Tangible Books. That's a nice bookstore here in Chicago.
A lot quieter.
Yeah, used bookstore.
It's
another Angela Thurl, Private Enterprise. It's also in the Barsetshire series.
Good times.
Yeah. So yeah, I should have put that with my Angela Thurl haul. But this is another E.H. Young, the Mrs. Mallet, not part of the Jenny Wren Curate's Wife duology, but just I believe a standalone.
Otherology.
The Mrs. Mallet. Also, it says, of Young's, on the back it says about this book, of Young's 12 witty novels, this, her fourth, first published in 1922, is the most reminiscent of Jane Austen.
Oh, boy.
You know.
They just know. They know us. They know us.
I mean, anything reminiscent of Jane Austen. And then I love the misread books. This book I didn't own a copy of, Village Affairs. So I'm making my way through the Fairacre series now, and of course,
it's a cute copy too. I like.
Yeah,
that.
so cute and little. So yeah, that's all I bought. Yeah,
that's
my
quite
goodness.
a haul.
That's a ton of books that I.
You know what? That'll be a fun thing to look forward to once I leave, and you're, Catherine lists. You have something to keep you going, because obviously that's all it's about. But no, I enjoyed that. Actually, there's a lot of books in there that I would like to read.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've read any of these books. My stomach just growled. I hope you didn't hear that.
We're gonna have breakfast now.
We're gonna have breakfast now. But I'm looking forward to it. Let me know if you have read any of these books, or if you want to read any of these books, or if you want to hear about what any of these books were like once she's read them, etc. And that is all for today with Bonnie.
Taking coffee and tea. Well, taking coffee with Bonnie and taking tea with Catherine.
Yeah. Have a lovely tea, coffee, and
book-filled day.
Bye.